Welcome back to World Sports Culture TV on YouTube. Here I am with my instant match reaction to France versus Spain. Now, if you watched my preview to this game, I was obviously calling a French win. I'm obviously pulling for France. I was calling a 3-1 victory. I was calling a game with a lot of goals. I said Dembele would get on the score sheet and Mbappe. But that's why predictions are predictions and I'm not a genie. I tip my hat to Spain. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. To lose to a team like Spain, a well worthy opponent, I have no shame in. I said, wearing my Spurs hat, that I hope Porro doesn't do anything too crazy against us, and there he goes, bagging a goal. um, Kudos to Spain. They played a great game. They're an unbelievable footballing nation, obviously. They had Sergio Ramos, Carles Puyol, Xavi Hernandez, and who else am I missing? Somebody else was at the game. All these Spain legends were at the game watching, and they're a country with unbelievable football heritage. So to lose to them, I don't take any shame in it. Just want to give you my little takes on the game and how it went from both sides. And that's about it. I hope everybody enjoyed the game. Hope everybody's loving the World Cup as much as I am. Or if you're football crazy like me, just watching every single game that you can. So let's start off by giving Spain their flowers. I thought, starting from the back, Simone put on a masterclass on sweeper keeping. No through balls that we were going to play today to Mbappe were going to work because that man was so far off his line, sweeping everything up in the back, being super aggressive. We had one chance in the first half where a beautiful through ball was played to Mbappe, but he was right there to clear the ball and get it out of danger. So I want to say Simone has been unbelievable this tournament, even though he hasn't had too much to do. But the sweeper keeping that he shows is unbelievable. So hats off to him. He played a great game. The entire back line and their defense has been so solid this whole World Cup, only giving up one goal, conceding 0 goals to us, who have scored, I believe, 2 or more goals in every single game we've played except for Paraguay. Unbelievable defense by them. Kubarsi, Laporte, my man Porro, Cucurella, they just played unbelievable. They play really well as a unit and definitely the best defensive unit in the world right now when it comes to international football. The midfield absolutely overran France's midfield. The hard work and the intensity and the hustle that they play with is unbelievable and super sound. They play really well as a unit. A lot of people questioning Spain's coach for dropping Pedri, but it really looks like he's found a solid formula with Fabian Ruiz, Rodri, and Dani Olmo there as a midfield trio. I think they are unbelievable. Fabian Ruiz, champion of Europe for a reason. Rodri has been one of the most integral pieces to Manchester City in recent years. When he's gone, you see the dip that Manchester City has. So I don't think it's any surprise that they're playing out of their minds. Like I said in my preview, I think Dani Olmo is amazing, although he didn't really have the greatest game today, per se. But their midfield trio was way better than France's and worked way harder than the French and got everything they deserved today with getting a W. Their front three, I want to say Yamal was putting Digne on toast today. He had Digne absolutely for the beating every time he had the ball. He nipped in front of him to win that penalty. Controversial. A lot of people are going to say that wasn't a penalty because he kind of played the ball with his arm to win it in front of Digne. It's a call that could go either way. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of that referee. I think that ref tries to be the main character in a movie that's not his. So it is what it is. I'm not super upset with the penalty call. It was slightly fugazi. You know, a lot of people are going to say that that penalty was very controversial, and rightfully so. The effort, though, by Yamal to get in there and be smart and put his body in front and, you know, try to win the ball with, you know, his body, not even his feet. You know, like I said, he kind of plays it with his shoulder or his arm, but his arms are in a natural position. So, you know, he got the call. He gets in there. He wins Spain a penalty. Orzabal, like I said in my preview, there was a little bit of controversy around him starting over Ferran, if he should be the starting striker for Spain. I think that guy is a proven goal scorer, and he handles pressure extremely well. He steps up. He's the penalty taker for Spain, designated penalty taker. Steps up. He doesn't usually go right. He actually usually goes middle or left, and he decided to go right. And Magnon read it pretty well. He dove the right way, but Orzabal with a nice, finish to the side netting. He put a lot of pace and power on it. Hard press for any goalkeeper to save a penalty of that type of quality. So big ups to Mikel Orzabal for bagging his penalty in a high pressure situation. He put Spain up 1-0. Him and Yamal getting it done, winning the pen and taking the pen. And, I thought you would see the French kind of turn it on after that, after being down 1-0 and, have them have a little fire in their belly, say, okay, we're going to get the next one, start playing a little bit more with more pace, with more pressure on the ball, start pressing Spain a little bit more, and start playing with more effort. But I actually didn't see that from the French at all. The French looked very lazy today, overran in midfield, ran out of ideas in attack, but as I get on to the French perspective, I will go over that. So Spain played very well. Alex Baena, a little bit anonymous today. I didn't really see much from him. He might have won a foul or two, but nothing too crazy from him. And like I said, Olmo didn't have his best game as well. But who needs them when you have Pedro Porro coming in as the wingback that he is? He loves to play offensive football. He has a great shot on him, as I've seen, over the past couple of years with Spurs. Definitely has a little bit of an eye for the back of the net. Porro playing with a little bit of anticipation, senses that ball might creep through to the right when they had that good offensive play going on. The ball goes through. Pedro Porro's there to get on the end of it, and he bangs it home. Really happy for Pedro Porro. Played great today in a big game. He bags his goal onto the World Cup final. And Spain are flying right now. Spain are easily one of the best teams in the world, and rightfully so, and well-deserved win today for Spain. I don't have anything bad to say about them, honestly. I thought they played well. I thought they were managed well. I thought they played with a lot of hustle, a lot of heart, a lot of tenacity, and it was a well-deserved win for the Spanish. So I tip my hat to Spain. They're a little bit of our kryptonite, beating us in the Euros last time as well. Yamal posting that photo on his Instagram of being up 5-1 against us in the Euros. So a little bit of banter between him and the French. But there you have it. Spain beat France in the semis, go on to the World Cup final, where I think they will be the favorites in the World Cup final. So big day for Spain. If you're a Spanish supporter, or if you're a Yamal fan, or if you were rooting for them, happy for you today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day celebrating as well. Now, as far as the French go, we made that change in the lineup. In my preview, I said that Barcola might be a good switch up because the game might be more open, and we might be able to catch Spain on counters. But in the end, you have to be able to win the ball back to have counter attacks. And our midfield just looked off it today. They did not look on the ball at all. I thought Tukameni was jogging way too much, didn't really do a lot of pressing, a little bit anonymous in the middle of the park. Rabiot got hooked at halftime for Kone. Olise looked like he switched from being the number 10 to going out wide and giving Dembele the 10 role. So France were, tinkering with things in the middle of the park there at the 10 position, trying to find the right balance, trying to find something different to offer Spain and try to get us, on the front foot. But it just seemed like the French came out today a little bit arrogant, a little bit cocky, and maybe underestimating Spain a little bit and expecting us to just, go on to the next round and just expecting to win games. Now, when you expect to win games and you underestimate your opponent, you don't play your best game. You don't come out with the same tenacity and the heart and the fight that you should have to win a game. And that breeds upsets, and it breeds losing football. And I think that's what happened to the French today. I think they came out today a little bit too confident, a little bit too cocky, a little bit too arrogant, and they took their eye off of the ball, and they didn't play with as much heart and as much hustle as Spain. And at the end of the day, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I truly believe that. And I thought that this embodied that this game. And I think that's why Spain beat us today, because I think if the French played their A game against them, that it could be a different result. But that's for another conversation and another day. The French did not come out and put out their A game. I thought defensively we weren't too bad. We made that mistake with that penalty. Digne had a little bit of a shocker today, not only giving up that pen, but he just couldn't handle Yamal. He seemed like he was very lacking confidence when it came to, pressure being put on us, and I was very unimpressed by him today. Upamecano has played great this whole tournament. I thought he had a great game today. Saliba went down. As a Spurs fan, I'm not too upset about that. Hopefully he misses some game time for Arsenal. But, Saliba goes down. Lacroix comes in for Crystal Palace. I think he's a great player, so I don't think we really missed too much there, although obviously Saliba is definitely the more talented player. Koundé, I thought Koundé played well today. I thought Koundé was trying to do everything he could in the offensive phase to try to push France up the pitch and try to work, one-on-ones with Olise or Dembele, whoever was out there. So I wasn't too upset with Koundé. I thought Mike Maignan, he tried his best on that pen. He dove the right way. He showed great effort. I don't think he really put a bad step forward today. You can't blame him on that goal for Porro one-on-one against a player like that. You're just doing your best to get your body in front of it. Unfortunately, Porro bags the goal. So I don't think Maignan made any great mistakes today or looked out of place. It just came down to Spain pressuring us and having a 1-0 lead and playing with a little bit of swag to them. So I thought that defensively we were decent. Like I said, I thought Digne was a weak link today. The penalty was a little fugazi in my opinion, but I don't think it's not a penalty, and I don't think that it is a penalty. It's a 50-50 decision, and like I said, that ref wants to be the main character in a movie that's not his, so he's giving penalties, he's blowing whistles, that guy thinks his shit don't stink, so I don't know what's going on with that ref, but very controversial decisions around him in this whole entire World Cup. So that's that with the defensive side of things and the goalie. I thought our midfield was terrible. Like I said, Tukamini looked lazy. Rabiot pinched at halftime, switching up and tinkering things at the 10 spot with Olise and Dembele. It just looked like we couldn't really get a good balance going on in that midfield, and Spain overran us in that midfield all game. So many times where Spain was progressing the ball right through the middle of the pitch, that should be uncalled for. We should always have a defensive pivot there, a six, looking to stop those presses. And I just saw Tukamini jogging all over the pitch, letting spaces up in the middle of our midfield, and they were just progressing right through the middle of the park. So shame on the midfield for today for France. As far as the front three, very little touches for Mbappe and Dembele and Douillet or Barcola, whoever was out there. They both played equally about amount of minutes. Douillet came on pretty early in the second half. And I just thought that was due to us not being able to get our foot on the ball, controlled in the midfield, and feed it to our attackers. So it is what it is. It looked like the French front three kind of ran out of ideas. We are a little one-dimensional in the front three where these guys want the ball played to their feet. They want through balls to run in on, and they want to play really pretty football and try to hit, curlers or have really nice opportunities and create big chances. But when you face a team that has really good defense, they're sitting back, they're controlling the game, you need to have other tools in your toolbox. Rarely did we cross the ball. We never put on Mateta to have a real focal point in the front attack, to have somebody get their head on, across. We're not a good crossing team. I didn't see France really start pulling the trigger from outside the box and really testing the keeper, see if he spills one, we could get a rebound goal, something of that nature. It just looked like the French kept trying to do what they're used to doing, and when it's not working, you have to change it up. So it looked like France ran out of ideas. And, definitely didn't put on their best showing today. Tip my hat to Spain. Great win. And till next time for France. We'll be back for the Euros. We'll be back in the next World Cup. We'll always be a powerhouse team. We have a great young talent coming through this team, like a Barcola, like a Douillet, like a Magnus Ekalush, who you didn't really get to see this tournament for Monaco. I think he's going to PSG now, though, as well this summer. He's a great young player. So Krupi for Bournemouth, great French striker coming through that Spurs are looking at this summer to buy. So I don't think the French are going to be out of it for too long. Tons of young talent coming through that farm system. And guys like Matisse Tell, Odebert on Spurs. We have a bunch of young French players on our team. So I think the French will be back. But I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I sit here as a French supporter, and I'm not upset today. Disappointed in the performance, for sure. But to lose to a team that is Spain, a well-worthy opponent, is nothing to hang my head low about. So hope everybody enjoyed the game. Hope everybody's having a great day. Stay positive, stay well, and drop any comments. Please like the page, subscribe to the page if you like what I have to say, you're liking my content. Please let me know if I have any hot or cold takes. Either way works for me. So until next time, YouTube.